that, we make little things. Don't keep your glass there, and it will fall out. Hi, Chloé.
Bonjour, Francoise.
Last week, you and me and your other best friends, we went to the movie theater to watch your movie, the movie in which you are playing Desire Will Set You Free.
Yes.
And because you missed all the premieres, right?
That's right.
You were on a world trip.
Yes. I did, this was my route. I brought this so I could show you, Francoise.
Yeah.
I did this route all the way here, and then all the way here, all the way to Polynesia, and then all the way back, and all the way east towards Chile, and then down and around the Cape Horn, the dangerous, famous Cape Horn, and then all the way up to Brazil, and then over from Brazil to the Gambia, and then from the Gambia up to the Azores, and then all the way back up to England.
Where?
My father was the captain.
I thought you were the captain because of your hats.
No, I'm the captain of love, but my father's the captain of Seawolf.
Okay. So everybody in the movie theater enjoyed the movie, and we were all very proud of you. You did a good job there.
It's a shame Berlin's tearing down all its beautiful Nazi architecture. Don't you think?
Are you satisfied?
Yes.
Are you
of course.
proud?
Yeah, I thought it was wonderful. I think that Yony did such an interesting job, and it was so colorful, and it was so great to see so many friends like on the film, and to see the beautiful pictures, like to see Berlin almost like in a kind of film noir. Like for me, some parts of it were almost like a film noir, like animation, Madame Tussauds, wax figure, animation, Berlin underground subculture, queer, nightlife, extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I must say, I was really surprised about the movie Desire Will Set You Free, because when I heard about the theme and when I read all the list of the people playing there, not except for you, I was thinking, oh my God, another movie about Berlin nights with some hipsters beating each other.
But we don't really know what hipsters are, do we, Francoise?
I know.
We're too old for that, no?
So I was surprised to see that this movie is not superficial as I think it would be, and I think it's even romantic and political in a way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you were, okay.
I think you can see many different things in it, you know what I mean? And you can find romance, even romance can be superficial, or it can be deep, it can be both those things too. So I think that there's an element of conflict in there, or tension, which counteracts the superficiality of it at certain times. Mm-hmm. And then there's the element of superficiality or weightlessness, or the kind of lost in the ether atmosphere about it, which also kind of like just blows away the conflict. So
yeah. So this is a movie about the international Berlin queer scene, and a mixture between a documentary and a fiction movie. I see that some scenes were like a documentary, I suppose, for example, when the trans speak about their lives and stuff. Yeah. But I wonder if your part was all written, or if it was also some improvisation sometimes.
No, my part was completely written. Mm-hmm. There's always an element of improvisation and acting, I believe, in performance, because
Yeah.
You know, the way you
Always,
deliver the
shit
lines, the
happens
way
that
your
you
body
didn't know.
moves, and all this stuff. So there's an element of improvisation and everything. But these lines were written. Well, one of my favorite lines is when Catherine's being
Catherine is you, right?
yeah, sorry, yeah, cat.
When cats.
Cat.
When the cat is
Well,
meowing.
yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, a couple of them are kind of like that I love is like when she's being picked up by the guy in the club and he's like, and I say something like, "Are you interested?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Anything's possible."
You look quite amazing.
You interested?
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Anything's possible. It's a very simple line, but it's great. And then another line I love is, "You're my dinner." Aren't you supposed to be at a dinner party? The little, what Yony calls him, twink. The twink says. And then I say, "You're my dinner. You're my dinner," which I thought was kind of funny.
Sorry, we're online.
Yeah, and you still are, don't worry.
Aren't you a little old for this? Shouldn't you be at a dinner party or in bed?
You're my dinner. I'm gonna poke my heel through that twink's eye socket if he says another word.
That was
Cannibalistic line.
And then there's also the cannibalistic, And then there's one more, and then I'm getting really slow. Oh yeah, I love the. Have you ever at the end of Liquid Sky when the two dykes ditch Manhattan for Berlin? Like I love that line too.
Yeah, it's good.
So
it's
that's
good.
because I'm an old cult favorite. I love that movie.
You love Liquid Sky. So now I really liked your outfits in the movie.
Yeah.
Did you put them together yourself?
Yes, I did. I put together the outfits one fun day. I was like, okay, I've got to figure this stuff out right away because I just don't want to worry about it every day when we have to go shoot and
Like
get stressed.
standing up at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you might do that when you go out and you do your thing, but like I just, I need as less stress as possible. I invited my dear friend Peter Kazur
Yeah, I know
over.
him too.
Yeah, and he came over and we nailed it down. We nailed down chuck, and then...
Yeah, but whose idea was that at the beginning you are wearing a kind of a Nazi outfit,
Well,
like
yeah,
a
but-
fetish Nazi outfit.
Yeah, no, well, that was the instruction, was to kind of have this, dark, hard,
Yeah,
Nazi girl, fag hag, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Type thing, so...
okay, yeah.
But the droppers were Herr von Eden, and
oh yeah,
the leather jacket was Diana Dart's
Ah, so it
old
was
jacket with the
okay.
Zig-Zig Sputnik spray
Ah,
paint on the
so,
back.
yeah,
and,
now
you know
I
what I mean?
recognize it.
And the black shirt was my mother's Yves Saint Laurent
Ooh, Nazi très
shirt.
chic. Huh?
So yeah.
Okay, and then you had the leopard outfit, and what was interesting was the makeup to this because you had like leopard eyes. So did you paint these things on your eyes?
No,
yourself?
actually it was great because my mother sent me this this kind of instant makeup stuff that you can get probably in some like accessorize store or something like that, where you just peel off the thing and it's like a sticker, like a powder sticker, like a butterfly, it's like the little powder thing, and you just press it down and then
you glue it on your eyes.
No, you just press it down like that, and then you like lift it up, and then they're there. The leopard print, like it makes a...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's nice. A little bit. You, Chloé?
Merci.
And you?
Do you speak French in your travels?
Mais oui, en Polynésie.
So should we continue or?
Mais oui.
Okay. So we were talking about your outfits. The last outfit was hilarious. This flower power dress with this big belly and suddenly a new haircut. Short
did I?
by practical. No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
had a shorter hair then, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was the father? You don't want to tell us.
You want to tell all, don't you? She wants to tell all.
Okay. What? I'm shocked. But okay. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
So I want to talk about your role.
Okay.
On this cupcake party, the other girls describe you as a bitch. Did you have the feeling that you had to play the role of a bitch?
I mean, the thing about a bitch is like, is a bitch really a bitch? She's also a hurt, confused, sad, lonely person maybe too, and you know, I mean, I don't know. Of course, I had to play something that was a little bit hard. You know, I had to play someone who had some kind of struggle with things that were going on, and I had to play someone who maybe was unhappy in some ways or misunderstood, but I wouldn't say I had to play a bitch.
Okay. And which was for you the most difficult part to play? The scene which was the most difficult for you?
Well, now I have to think of all the scenes at one moment, right? I mean, in the second, but I'd say one scene that was very intense for me, it was the scene where the lines between the reality of what was going on in the film set that day and and what was like built up and constructed for the film set that day became very blurry for me. And that was because we brought two hustlers from a real hustler bar, two Romanian guys on the set, and
You mean they did a confusion between movie and reality?
well, yeah, these two guys came on the set. Yeah, and they had a lot of very strong energy to them because of what they're doing and what they're going through. And I had to kind of, I wanted to do the scene with them, but it was, I think, too much of a risk in a certain way to do the whole scene with them. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't frightening for me at all. I'm used to working with real people, so it wasn't frightening for me. So I had to kind of essentially play this moment with these two actors in front of these two actors who were acting out the characters of these two people who were there sitting witnessing the scene.
What?
And yeah, and in a way it became very charged for me. And that's the point when that was actually the most you asked me about improvisation before. That was the moment of improvisation, is when I said my lines and then I turned to the two Romanian hustlers and I called him over. Yeah. And that was not supposed to be in the script, and I called him over, and then we had this moment, and it was very intense because he came over, but then he also didn't understand why then I had to go and redo the scene and be felt and touched by the actor, and it got increasingly, it got very emotional in a way.
Okay.
The whole that day and
so you had to flight at the end.
And also, the place, it's a gay sex club. There's a lot of very intense energy in that place. It's dark. You can't tell what time it is. It was the middle of the day. We were there for over 12 hours. I didn't see any sunlight for that whole time, and by the end of it, I almost didn't know how to leave the place. Yeah. So it was the only scene where I felt really like in a state of a confusion.
Okay, yeah, I can understand. So, and what was the funniest role The funniest part you had to play. What made
Maybe
you
when I got to lift up Amber Benson and put her on a bunch of cupcakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was really like in front of a picture of Camille Paglia. Oh, you ruined them. Oh, it's wet.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really over the
hilarious,
top
yeah.
hilarious.
Did
You
you
know,
eat
I mean, like I would ever, eat a girl out with cupcakes with Camille Paglia staring at me. I mean, it was really funny because, I mean, and I have nothing against eating ladies or anything like that, but I just the whole like there was a certain element, a comical element to like the like lifting her up onto cupcakes.
Did you eat at the end the rest of the cupcakes?
And what's really weird too is I realized my mother, a portrait of my mother is in that shot too in the background. Like it's the really sexy picture where she's like this. It's like classic. It's like Peter says it's the haute couture yoga pose. She's got a glass of champagne in one hand like this, and she's like this, and it's like complete. It's over the top. So my mother's in this shot at the same time, and it was pretty. It was pretty funny, but of course it had to be very hot, serious. So
Okay, now I want to speak also about the other actors. Yony, who was who just came in now. Yony, who is the director but also the first role in the movie. Mm-hmm. He wrote himself a good role in which he could kiss a bunch of beautiful guys.
What else is new?
This is what I would do if I would make my own movie.
Of course.
Yeah. So what kind of a director is he?
Oh well, It was a really interesting experience to work with Yony. And I think it's also because we were getting to know each other in the film and during the film. And in a way, our characters of the film, they were close. And they also, in the film, they had to find their way of trusting each other and believing each other and testing each other. And I think that was mirroring what was happening outside of the film too, which was just very interesting because Yony and I barely knew each other before.
Yeah, okay, but is he more nervous, screaming all the time?
No.
He's relaxed?
Yeah, super relaxed, super
nice,
very professional, very, very thoughtful about the way things were, wanting things to be good for the people who were there. And I mean, it was a big job for him, because he had to be centered and focused in his character and still direct. So I think that was,
and this is a big it's a hard job for us.
And he had a lot of and he had a lot of dreams for this film and what he wanted to portray. And he also had a lot of he wanted to bear it all in a certain way. He didn't want to. I think he wanted to be honest, actually, even about the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like Yony's role as a lazy writer who prefers to go out all the time instead of writing. How important is laziness to you?
Oh. Well, I would say laziness. I think laziness as a word is too bad unless it's spelled like Lazeee, maybe. But I think laziness, like a breeze. But I think that what is laziness? I mean, come on. Why are we all driven to work like crazy and?
I mean, laziness is all relative because, for example, for a writer, I know because sometimes I'm writing too. When you are a writer, sometimes you don't write, but you go out and you make a collection of impressions which is material for your next novels.
Of course,
you know.
of course.
I mean, I imagine
This idea
today.
of laziness is so Protestant, so Anglo-Saxon, so capitalist, it's so
German.
it's so Western. No, it's also American, it's Canadian, it's European. I mean, it's just.
I suppose on your
ridiculous.
world trip
I was very lazy.
Yeah.
Although I was sleeping less and working more than probably ever. So I mean, what does that mean? If you're not producing something all the time.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and so we said it's like we're living in the time of cultural punishment. You will be sentenced to 6 months of silk screening because you didn't fill out that application properly. And because you didn't, you must write 15 artist statements for that next work you're doing. Or else you are meaningless.
Yeah. It's
I
true.
mean, it's kind of,
It's like at school
yeah.
or in the army.
I think we should just start growing vegetables and eat more nicely and enjoy our time with our loved ones. And
So you mean you want to make something like a bio farm? Or?
I don't know. No, I want
Okay.
to make music.
Okay, good. So let's talk about another actor, Sasha.
Tim.
Yeah, I mean, okay. As I saw the movie, I didn't have studied the cast, so I thought it was really a Russian guy. So then after that, I saw on the
Yeah.
film plakat Tim Fabian. He's called Tim Fabian Hoffman, which doesn't sound Russian at all.
No. He's
So
German.
yeah, he's German, but this is crazy. This cute accent he put on.
Oh yeah, he was wonderful. He was an amazing actor and
Yeah.
such a great person too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, for me, I think he looks really good in the movie.
He looks like a sculpture.
like light,
yeah.
like
He
the
looks-
light.
Yeah, he looks like a light. He looks like
He's
I mean, he
magic.
looked like that was interesting also in the Ficken 3000 scene. Like I remember when I first saw it, I thought, why is Yony and Sasha or Tim lit so brightly? You know what I mean? This is a sex club. I mean, why are they lit so brightly? But then I realized that's the otherworldliness in a certain way of the film, like the film that's becomes like, yeah, almost like a vision of something that's not, you know, is it real? Is it not real? I don't know, you know, but like you said, it's like this. I mean, I also related it, as I said, like as a Madame Tussauds wax museum animation or something. Like it looked, unreal.
So now your girlfriend Amber.
Yes. Oh, she was wonderful.
Yeah, you told me, but I didn't ask for the details, that she was making some
Yes.
centuries ago the first lesbian kiss on US TV. What
Yes,
what is this story?
She was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I think the television series. She came straight from Hollywood, all the way here
Okay,
to be in this movie.
cool.
And she was great. Like the first time we had a Skype call with Yony, that was the first time I met her, was over Skype. And as soon as I heard her voice and we chatted a bit, it was just like we clicked, you know what I mean? And I felt
Better
so
so
good.
for this world.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Imagine if you would have hated her, and then all the story was cupcakes. Would have been more
I did have
difficult.
to do one time in my movie career, the first movie, I had to kiss someone that I didn't like, which wasn't very nice.
Yeah, I heard that the girl who is kissing Clark Gable in Gone with the Wind was almost puking because he was smelling like whiskey and an ashtray.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. No, but Amber was.
They choose this
Amber.
career.
Everything I said about Tim too applies to Amber in many ways, because Amber was also an incredibly generous woman. She's been in so many films. She's been in so many actresses, bringing up the whole thing about professional and non-professional. I mean, she is a very professional actress, and she was so generous with her like enthusiasm and positivity, and it really makes a difference. Like it's, I mean, what else? It was just so great, and she felt like a friend. I miss her. I wish I could see her right now.
Yeah, come for a visit, or you can go visiting her.
Yeah.
Bon, now I want to speak a little bit about the camera. I hope you can remember the name of the cameraman.
Yeah. Ali Goskaya.
Ali Goskaya.
Ali Goskaya.
Yeah, because I think the camera was great. I mean,
The
this
camera
movie
was amazing.
Yeah, this movie doesn't look at all like these German movies they make about Berlin and so, who look all kind of like tattered or something. It's in a way it's really exotic and also beautiful. For example, I really like the scenes, these hippie scenes in the parks, these drugs scenes. I think the movie is filmed in a kind of an exotic way. It's colorful. I mean, because Berlin is gray. All the time Berlin is gray, and most of the movies about Berlin are really like depressing. But this guy, this cameraman, he did it well. And also sometimes he had a funny...
He also did the color.
Funny symbolic. Like I think it's really, in a way, hilarious, this picture with the wall at the end.
Yeah.
Then Yony completely crying
Falling
on the
one
floor on one side, and then his lover going on the other side. It's funny, I mean.
Not his lover.
His ex-lover. Yeah.
But no. Actually, I thought that scene was very, like, that shot especially was really interesting because it was very static. Like, it felt very much like this film noir, like static, almost like it could have been in a photonovela too, or in a cartoon of some kind or something like that.
Oh yeah. It looked like out of a cartoon. It's true.
Yeah, like, and I think that Ali did an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many scenes. There's so many scenes in that movie. The layers he plays on. You know what I mean? The layers of kind of things that are very humdrum or very common or ordinary, and then the layers of like that are like slightly more turned up. You know what I mean? Where the senses are turned up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then he turns it up even more again. And it's like then suddenly the colors, the sensations, the sensory experience is turned up even higher.
Yeah.
And then he goes into like, and that works with actually the performances in the script, because it creates these levels of kind of like meta realities and stuff, and like these elements where you're kind of like, are these people still acting, or are they like acting too much, or are they, I mean, I think that, and then there's a level that there's the elements of spontaneity which are caught by a filmmaker or by a cinematographer that are amazing, you know, like the whole, and an actor and the moment and everybody else who's participating. But like also I loved the scene in the lake when Yony suddenly starts running after the swan, and the swan lifts up,
that's
and
nice.
then there's the lady lying standing on the shore naked, and like, you know what I mean, and it's just beautiful, and I mean, Ali did so much. He did so many things that it's hard to even just isolate any particular shot, you know, because they're just the color. You know, the scene in Gorlitzer Park when everyone's in their sparkle naked orgy, like fruit and everything. I mean, think about how many things are going on in this scene. Okay. You know, and he has to divine his way through, like almost like a snake going through a garden, you know what I mean? He has to find his way and be completely ready, but he also has to have this unbelievable camera, you know, on him.
Yeah, and it was a heavy one, yes.
And he was exceptional. And the moment I met him too, I realized for sure that I would do this project. You know, that was he came to my house.
Yeah, you have always to have a good relationship to the cameraman, unless they make you look like shit. Yeah, it's true. It's important. So
yeah, very important.
So, darling,
okay,
let's talk about all the VIPs.
Okay.
Okay? because Nina Hagen, Wolfgang Müller, Pitchy, Suki, Rummelsnuff, Rosa von Braunheim, Blixabergeld, and more people were there. So, you know, I am a big fan of Nina Hagen, so did you speak with her? Or you were not there when our scene
I
was
was
shot?
there.
Ah, yeah.
I was there, but I wasn't in the scene. But I was there. But no, I didn't really speak with her. She flew in and out like a raven.
Yeah, it's really a shit to have her so shortly in the movie.
She was
funny.
like, it was amazing. It was just the way it should be, I guess.
Bon.
It was fun.
I liked also the scene with Blixa Bargeld because this is an
one of the smelly-
intelligent thing to do from Yony because it shows that he was conscious that everybody would say, oh, okay, it's a movie about hipsters or something. So he did this scene.
Yeah.
So so it's kind of little.
It's also in the stinkiest alleyway
It's
in
self-ironic.
Berlin, too.
Huh?
It's also shot in the stinkiest alleyway in Berlin.
Yeah, it's at the côté,
Yeah.
no?
Oh yeah, it's like in the one little alleyway under
In
the
the
Zentrum,
Peace,
on the way to
street.
Mobile Alpha, which also, by the way,
It's okay, we
was
know it.
right beside. Yeah, it's also right beside where Speed Madness and Flying Saucers was shot.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, in that the Vetten. Is it called Vetten? Vetten.
Yeah, everybody always chooses the worst places to make
Yeah,
their movies
I
in
know.
Berlin.
I know. Well, maybe not in the future.
No, because you know some people making movies in Unter den Linden and no.
Maybe our next movie should be
Brandon
somewhere very
Bogator,
beautiful.
nobody. So, the clubs. There were some clubs show there. So
I thought you said the clap.
no, the Berlin clubs. Like, okay.
What? No, also
I go sometimes with my friends.
Also Monster Ronson's was in there.
I didn't
Monster
realize.
Ronson's an amazing place, one of the most important places in Berlin, and also one of my dearest friends.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was
Ron.
there, but I didn't recognize
I
it.
remember-
Sometimes I'm sleeping in movies.
And Ron, I remember the
Which part
day
is
he
that?
told me when he built his first box, his first karaoke box, and he said, one day, it was like 15 years ago, he said, one day, I'm going to have a bar full of these boxes. And we were sitting in it, and I was like, great, Ron, do it.
And he did it.
And he's got it. And he also, it's an incredible place. It's a place that is so open to everybody. It's open to, to people of all walks, of all ages, of all genders and sexes orientations and this and that. And it's a beautiful place. It's where Peaches does her performance and where they walk out and the painting of Divine is. And
it's
the painting
there.
of Divine
Wow,
is
that's
done by
really-
a beautiful old friend of Ron's and mine named Ursula, who's an incredible painter. And it's a real example of community, that place.
So, the Berghain. The Berghain. Do you go there sometimes?
I've been there a few times.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too,
there
but
once
only
when
once a
Namush
year.
played.
It's too exhausting.
I was there once when Namush played.
Ah, yeah.
It was amazing. He dropped down from the staircase. It was incredible. And then he did this amazing show. And actually, Namush and I did a show just the other week. Yeah, he introduced me on. It was my introduction as Coco Maria, which is my new
Artist name.
not just artist name. It's
Pseudonym.
my new heart name, shall I say? I'm famous all over South America and the Gambia as Coco Maria. It's much easier to remember.
Woof!
Whoops.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
I saw the globe is.
yeah. So
from
Berghain, I go. Yeah, that's my story of Berghain.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, most of the actors were not professional actors, no? Or how is it?
Professional.
Ah, yeah. I mean, okay, it's not.
I guess
But I mean,
so. I don't know.
sometimes, for example, for projects I did, I suppose sometimes it's even difficult to mix it.
Yeah. I
Like
don't know.
if you have two professionals and the rest they are not professional, it's not fitting together, and the professionals are always a pain in the ass. So I suppose you were lucky
met
that
this-
your professionals were nice.
Yeah. I met this great woman when I was in Brazil in Rio de Janeiro on the beach. She's the Ipanema Bruja.
What means Bruja?
Bruja means witch. And
Bruja.
she was
Like
wonderful. She said I was a Bruja too, but
Born Bruja.
she was wonderful. The first moment I met her, she was talking about professional and amateur, and she was like, "Me, I am an amateur. I will always be an amateur.
And always be
And for
proud
my whole
to be
life,
an
I will be
amateur.
an amateur. And it's interesting because when I was writing my book, the Cookie Mueller biography, I had one conflict with someone, which was the only person who I had a conflict with in my interviews, which of the friends of Cookie. And he was someone who was very, he has addiction problems and different things, so probably that was why. I'm not going to tell.
Also, okay.
But he's an old 60s star. And
Professional.
one of the things he accused me of was being amateur. And I was really shocked, and I wasn't that shocked. I was just more like, why is he saying that? But then a very good close friend of mine said to me, do you know what the root of amateur is in Latin? And I was like, what? And he said, to do something with love. And it was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's it. And so that was my response to the guy, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, you know what the root of amateur is. And for me, it was like a really important changing moment, actually, because I've often struggled in my life with like this idea of professional versus amateur, and whether I should go back to school, or whether I should try to make money with my work, or whether I should do this or I should do that. It's a thing that you can struggle with when most of the work you've done has like been in kind of more underground scenarios, or I don't even need to use that word underground like that, but I mean, when I use that word, what I mean by that is like essentially circles or situations or environments which aren't about making money, or they don't make you any money. You know what I mean? Because they're temporal, and they're, whatever they are, so this like weight of like, because you also want to be recognized, you want to feel good at what you do, you do it very seriously, you put all your care and love and effort and work into it. And for example, my book would be an example of that. I mean, I never studied journalism, I never studied any of these things, but I put everything I could into that book.
Yeah.
But I did it as an amateur, for sure, so.
But still looks professional to me.
Well, see, that's what I mean. So it goes back to the conversation again of like, well, what are we trying to aim at? Like, what does professional look like, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's a circle.
No, but okay. But I mean, for example, I'm sure that the scene, I like this scene where the trans people explain their stories in a very short, like in a few words. This was not written, no?
No,
I knew immediately it's not written, this thing.
Yeah, no, I thought that was also a really beautiful.
It's beautiful,
scene.
yeah.
I thought it was really exceptional, because not often can you have a moment where people feel comfortable to really speak and also be in front of a group in the middle of the day, and with like a whole camera crew, and and sound at this and that, and I think that obviously people felt comfortable. They felt comfortable to share, and not just comfortable, but they felt inspired to tell their stories and to tell their feelings to this story in the movie. So
this is the end.
This is the end.